sure to tune in to At Home with Christ Ministry with Julie Thomas, broadcasting Monday nights at 8 p.m. live on licmc.net, radio, Facebook, and YouTube.
Okay, out there, hello, and welcome to another edition of the At Home with Christ podcast. So, you will remember in our last episode, we were talking about, first of all, a man who was commissioned by God to become a watchman. And we was also talking about Ezekiel and his commission from God to become a watchman. But in this episode, today, we are going to be talking about the same watchman, Ezekiel, and in this part, we're going to talk about how he warned the people and what he said to the people. All right, I'm busy. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, if you remember that God had told Ezekiel that he was to become a what? A watchman. And we know from experience that a watchman was someone who watches over you and that can warn you when oncoming danger is coming. Now imagine yourself if you had a watchman, if you had someone who was a spiritual watchman like Ezekiel that could tell you when incoming danger was coming. What would you do? What would you say? And how would you feel if your own husband or someone else okay. Okay. Hello and welcome to another edition of the At Home with Christ podcast. So today we're continuing our story and lesson in the Watchman. And you will remember from our last lesson where we talked about how Ezekiel became a watchman and he was commissioned through God. So now in this issue, we are talking again about it. And you will remember that from the last time that Ezekiel became a watchman because God told him that he was going to become a watchman. Now, in this episode and in this part of the podcast, we're talking about the part where he warned his people and how someone in your world could be your spiritual watchman. If you remember that a watchman, first of all, is someone that watches over buildings and things, houses, spiritually, like that. And they normally have visions. They normally have visions and dreams and also types of things that they can warn you because they can see things, just like Ezekiel did. But a watchman, if you would remember, is a person, like we said, that watches over you and lets you know when incoming danger comes. So you may have a loved one at home that may have had a dream that says, I saw in a dream that you were going to die. Your house was going to catch on fire. Your neighborhood was going to be in danger. And you may, like any one of us, ignored that warning in a dream. I myself sometimes have had dreams and I have about other people and I've had to warn them that I had a dream that something bad was going to happen to you. Or it may not have been bad, but it was just a warning. And and they ignored me. And then later I said to them, I warned you that that was going to happen in a dream. And this actually happened because years back, um, I had a dream and I told my daughter that she shouldn't go hang out with her friends because it was an unpleasant time. And then she just totally ignored me. Now, I don't know if you would consider that a trait of a watchman or what, but when she came back, she said, Mom, you was right. How did you know that I wasn't going to have a nice time? And I said, I warned you that was going to you wasn't going to have a nice time. So let's get back to this. Now, in this part of the story, we learn what Ezekiel said to his people. He told the men who were considered evil that this, oh, you wicked men, you shall surely die. Now, what a powerful word to say. What a powerful word to tell someone, oh, you wicked men, you shall surely die. Can you imagine if you dreamed something and you, like Ezekiel did, or you had a vision and you said those same powerful words, oh, you wicked men, or you wicked people, you shall surely die. And you think to yourself, wow, how powerful this is, right? Right. It is really powerful. It's a really powerful thought. He also told the people back then that there would be two attacks. The first attack would be matched by the second attack, and the second attack would be an attack on the city, in which the temple and the whole city will be destroyed. Now, let me ask you this: you remember the story that we read the last time, where the man we said was sitting on his couch, and God spoke to him and told him that he was to become a watchman over his whole family, but he denied it. And in this man, in the story, in this segment, is faced with the same thing. God said to him again, you are to become a watchman. And he denied it again. But listen, to get this. This man, whose name was David, dreamed in a vision where he saw his house on fire. He saw things starting to happen to his own family. But he refused to talk to his wife. He refused to tell his family that things were going to happen. So now I'm asking you, what do you think happened next? Things started going astray. This man's house did catch on fire because of some electrical work. Now, if he had a saw in the vision, if he had a saw in front of his dream, how the house was catching on fire, he would have told his family, just like you or I. He would have told his brother that don't hang around with those people because those are bad people. But he did nothing. He did nothing. Just like you or I, when God gives you a vision or tells you to say something to somebody and you do nothing, you are condemning that person. Those people you are supposed to say something to. Just like Ezekiel, he said to the people, judgment from God is coming. And judgment for us all is coming. So if someone in our circle who is a designated watchman tells you something, then we have to pay attention to it. If someone you don't even know tells you something, well, I envisioned you, I've got a feeling that something bad is going to happen to you, you should pay attention to it. You should pay attention to it. Because just like in the story, the people did not believe Ezekiel until the first attack happened, and then the second attack. And what do you think they did? What do you think they did in the story with a man, David, who didn't tell his family? Now his whole family is suffering because he did not pass on the message. He did not pass on the message. If God gives you a message to pass on, or if God tells you you are a watchman and you see a vision of it, of something that's going to happen to somebody, then you should open your mouth, because it is your duty as a watchman. It's not a game, people. It's your duty. It's your job. Just like it's your job to take care of your family. If you're a watchman, that is a serious thing, because the watchmen watch over not just people, they watch over the kingdom and spiritual towers, like we said. They watch over windows and doors. If you saw in a dream or had a vision that someone's going to sneak in your neighbor's house or break in a store, then that is your responsibility to pass it on. Now, if that person you pass it on does not believe you, then that is up to them. But you must do your part of the job, and you must pass it on. Because a watchman isn't just a watchman. A watchman is a guard. Somebody has to stand guard over us all, people, not just God. And God appoints a spiritual watchman. God appoints them, spiritual watchmen. And what we want you to know is you never know who your spiritual watchman is. You will never know. I will never know. But we do have spiritual watchmen. We do have these people out here. And we have to pay attention to what people say. If someone comes up to you on the streets and says, "Whoa, I feel something dark is going to happen," pay attention to the words. Simple little words can give you the clue to what you need to know to navigate your life. Just like if someone said to you, "I don't think you should drive that car today. I think it's something bad is going to happen." That's not them wishing bad luck on you. That's not them wishing bad luck on you. That's them because they probably got a vision, a feeling, or had a dream that something was going to happen. Now I'm asking you, are you a spiritual watchman? Are you a spiritual watchwoman? If you'd like to be one, you can talk to God, and you could sign up. You could sign up just like you sign up on anything else. Ask God, am I a spiritual watchman? Am I a spiritual watchwoman? Because I want to be one. I want to be watch over people. Because a spiritual watchwoman or watchman, as we are saying, like Ezekiel and other people, are very special people with very special discerning powers. And until next time, we'll talk more about it.
Be sure to tune in to At Home with Christ Ministry with Julie Thomas, broadcasting Monday nights at 8 p.m. live on licmc.net, radio, Facebook, and YouTube.